What's up, my big blue colors? I'm your foreman, and today we're going to be reading confessions from everyone's favorite source of information, Reddit. We've got a pretty juicy one today, so I hope your hands are calloused and your energy drinks are popped open. Today we're going to be reading, I've been tasting my own urine every morning for 4 years. I have a spreadsheet with 1,460 entries rating color, clarity, sweetness, salinity, and mouthfeel. I can now predict illness onset 72 hours before symptoms appear. The story was posted by STH Duh on the r/confessions subreddit. Personally, that's quite a long title, but it explains it for you right there. The guy's been tasting his own piss for the past 4 years and has developed his own superpower. So, if you recall Pissmaster from the hit TV show Rick and Morty, that's essentially what this guy's become. Just like the less techie version of that. So, I hope you're ready. And apologies in advance for any background noises. I don't have the most professional setup. With all of that said, let's get straight into it. Every morning for the past 4 years, I've tasted my own urine, approximately 5 milliliters, enough for proper palate evaluation. This started after I discovered the historical practice of uroscopy, which was the primary diagnostic method used by physicians from ancient Greece through the 19th century. For those unfamiliar, doctors tasted urine to diagnose disease for over 2,500 years. This was the standard practice, and Hippocrates did this in 400 BCE. The breakthrough case was Thomas Willis in 1674, an English physician who tasted a diabetic patient's urine and described it as wonderfully sweet, as if it were imbued with honey or sugar. He coined the term diabetes mellitus. Mellitus is Latin for honey. The name of the disease literally comes from a doctor describing how the piss tasted. So I found this fascinating. If trained physicians relied on this method for millennia, perhaps there was diagnostic value worth exploring. My personal take here, I think medical practices, such as this one, should probably just stay dead. Maybe that's a bit of a hot take, but I think this one, drinking your own piss, should probably stay dead, because you're not about to catch me in the bathroom taking a sip from the toilet to figure out if I got cancer or not. Maybe that's just my opinion, but, it should have stayed dead. Anyway, I'm pretty invested in this story, so let's continue then. So I started collecting data. I've developed what I call the Golden Index, a standardized evaluation framework with 6 primary metrics. 1. Color, a 1 to 10 scale ranging from nearly transparent to dark amber. 2. Clarity, 5 categories: crystal clear, clear, slight haze, cloudy, and opaque. 3. Sweetness, 0 to 5 scale, adapted from Willis's diabetes detection methodology. 4. Salinity, 0 to 5 scale, measuring sodium/mineral content. 5. Bitterness, 0 to 5 scale, indicating metabolic waste concentration. 6. Mouthfeel, 6 categories from thin/watery to syrupy, correlating with specific gravity. Again, bit of a hot take here, but if your piss is as thick as syrup coming out, you might want to go to the doctor. Unless you're like this guy who probably put it on his pancakes if it was sweet enough. But yeah, if your piss is dark amber and coming out like syrup, I'm sorry, Aunt Jemima, you might want to go see your local physician. Possibly go to the ER. Secondary metrics include estimated pH, hydration index, flavor profile, classification, dietary intake from the previous 24 hours, and illness onset tracking within a 72-hour window. My current data set contains 1,460 daily entries spanning January 2022 to present. Compliance rate is around 99.7%. I've missed 5 days total, 2 instances of food poisoning, 1 COVID infection, 1 camping trip without proper collection equipment, and 1 oversight. Could you imagine going on a camping trip with this guy? And he's like, 1 sec, guys, I need to bring my piss index with me. I need to bring my piss equipment. He pulls the fucking Brita out and just starts filtering his piss through it. Oh. I swear to God, that would be the funniest fucking camping trip ever. The results have been significant. At approximately month 8, I identified a predictive pattern. When salinity exceeds 4.0 and a copper/metallic undertone is detected, illness onset occurs within 72 hours. I've now observed this pattern 12 times and 11 predictions were accurate. That's a 91.7% accuracy rate with an average lead time of 68.4 hours before symptom manifestation. Additional correlations I've documented. Asparagus consumption, 100% detection rate within 48 hours. Alcohol intake, plus 1.4 average bitterness increase the following morning. Dehydration levels. R equals 0.89 correlation with viscosity. Psychological stress. R equals 0.72 correlation with metallic taste presence. Red meat consumption, 0.3 average increase in mouthfeel density. My God. I've cataloged 34 distinct flavor profiles to date. Most frequent is standard with 847 occurrences, while rarest is complex bouquet wine adjacent. With only 3 documented instances, I'm investigating the dietary or psychological triggers for that one. I'm still writing a 34-page methodology document. Includes collection protocols, first void midstream, minimum 50 milliliters, analysis within 30 seconds. Controlled room temperature between 68 to 72 Fahrenheit. Evaluation criteria, statistical frameworks, and appendices cataloging each flavor profile with tasting notes. Once I'm finished, I can share it if you guys want to be piss drinkers. I honestly hope he shares it personally. I want to see how many people want to become piss drinkers. He follows this up by saying, my wife believes I simply take a long time in the bathroom each morning. She's not aware of the research. Just tell her you're cheating at that fucking point. God damn, save yourself the embarrassment. What the fuck? This is such a weird secret to keep from your wife. Thinking that she's over here thinking you're taking like 2 hours to take a piss in the bathroom. In reality, you're just over here sipping on that shit and writing down your research. That's such a weird secret to keep from your wife. I don't know what else I can add to that. My God. You know, I've considered presenting my findings to a physician, but I suspect they would not take it seriously. No shit. They might recommend psychiatric evaluation. Well, my data is clean, so whatever. Medieval physicians used something called the urine wheel, a diagnostic chart comparing 20 different urine colors to various diseases. They used a specialized flash called a macula for collection and analysis. I've essentially modernized this system with spreadsheet formulas that auto-calculate risk scores. Thomas Willis revolutionized diabetes diagnosis by being willing to taste what others wouldn't. I'd like to think I'm continuing that tradition in my own way. TLDR, I taste my pee every morning. I've done it 1,460 times. I have a spreadsheet with scientific methodology, and I can predict when I'm getting sick 3 days early. Wow. Well, I'm glad he's self-aware that if he went to a physician with his findings, they would send him to a psych ward. Maybe tell your wife that you're doing this shit, because if I were in a marriage and my wife was doing this shit, behind my back, and I just found her spreadsheets, which, are you hiding the spreadsheets too? At some point, she's going to think you're cheating on her. And I feel like that would somehow be a better explanation than this. Maybe I'm wrong. But either be honest with her or just lie. My God. And not to mention, you've developed the world's most disgusting superpower. And I have to wonder, can you only detect when you're going to get sick in 3 days? Or have you tested this with friends, been like, hey, yo, Bobby, can you send me a sample of your piss? I just want to taste it. I want to know if you're okay, man. Like, and how far does it go? Can you only, like, taste if you're going to have the flu in 3 days? Or can you taste if you're about to develop diabetes? Or some other fucking disability or illness? That's what I personally want to know. Let's go ahead and look at the comments, because I'm going to have too many questions about this. Comment number 1. I respect the commitment until you detected that pattern in month 8. You were still just a guy persistently drinking his own piss and thinking, this tastes different. How all great findings are found doing something on accident are stupid, lol. Such as the toasted ravioli. I'm kind of curious to find out about the toasted ravioli now that this guy mentions it. It sounds like it's a well-written story, kind of like this one. Another comment says, hi, Mr. Johnson. I just wanted to call in sick for my shift on the 19th, Mr. Johnson. But STH, duh, it's only the 16th. Swishes profusely around mouth. Trust me, sir, you're going to want to find coverage. That's got to be how this guy is calling in sick, personally. Okay, man, this is at the same time insane and really impressive. Wow, that's my thoughts on this exactly. Like, it's impressive that you can detect when you're going to be sick, but, like, the way you took to get there... Like I said, I feel like some medical practices need to stay dead, personally. Maybe that's a hot take. Another comment says, I respect you as a person and will take your scientific reviews into consideration. However, I will need to go bleach my eyes out now. Someone said, but how will the bleach affect the taste of your pee? Report back. I'm curious, too. Did they ever report back? Let's see. They may have reported back. I don't think they did. I'm searching. Nope. They never reported back. That's some bullshit right there. We need to get this guy on that if bleach affects the taste of your own urine. Oh, this is a wild fucking story. I want to know if he ever told his wife. If he's ever going to tell his wife about his spreadsheet, his 1,460 entries about his piss. I want to see that story. I can't tell if this is a personal account of his or not. I don't think it is. Yeah, no, he just made a fake account for simply posting this. Yeah, there's so much to unpack with this Reddit confession. I love it though. This was a great start to this video. So my thoughts personally, I want to know what the wife thinks if she ever finds out about your 1,460 entries. And the fact that you've, presumably, from what I've read here, kept this hidden from her for 4 years. And, I want to know the extent of your power here. If you can only taste when you're going to be sick with the flu in 4 days, or if you can taste more severe things like cancer development If so, man, maybe you should consider just becoming a doctor, you know? So whenever they're like, hey, so whenever someone comes to you needing a urine test or some shit, you can just tell them to drop it on the counter and take a quick swish, you know, kind of bounce it around in your mouth a little bit like it's mouthwash, and tell them exactly what's wrong with him. You know, just be over here like, you're going to have brain cancer. Yeah. And that, I don't think I have much to say on this story. That's all I've got to say. We've read a couple of the comments, and I think a lot of people have about the same thoughts here. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit messy. I'm just getting back into doing YouTube and whatnot. We're going to be doing commentary from now on. Sometimes I'm going to have people join in. Sometimes I won't. I think this is a great story to start tonight. To start off the new video coming into the new year. Yep. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. Subscribe if you want to become a BBC. And I'll see you guys in the next one.